In a world obsessed with fast content, loud thumbnails, and perfectly curated online lives, there exists a rare, quiet corner of the internet where simplicity thrives. A place where a woman started understanding her work and creativity all along, leaving her loneliness behind. That place is called The Last Homely House, a YouTube channel unlike any other. And at the heart of it is Kate, a woman who began this journey in her 50s. After life turned a chapter most of us fear, divorce. When most people are expected to slow down, to fade quietly into the background of adulthood, Kate chose something else. She chose to start again. Not loudly, not dramatically, but slowly, with intention. With threads of fabric, seeds in the soil, a kettle on the stove, and a gentle voice that would eventually become beloved across the world. If you've never watched her channel, you might not know just how profound her presence is. But once you step into her world, even for a moment, you feel it, you feel home. The name The Last Homely House wasn't picked for branding or algorithmic performance. It wasn't a marketing trick. It came from Kate's love of JRR Tolkien, specifically from The Hobbit. In Tolkien's world, the last homely house is a place of peace and rest before the wilderness begins again, a house of healing, warmth, and welcome. For Kate, and for thousands who visit her channel, that's exactly what she's built. Her YouTube channel is not just content, it's a sanctuary, a moment of stillness in our chaotic digital lives. But Kate's story didn't begin with YouTube. It began with rebuilding herself. After a significant divorce in her 50s, Kate found herself in the quiet aftermath of a life that had changed shape. Instead of falling into loneliness or regret, she picked up her quilting needle. She leaned into the crafts that had always brought her joy. Quilting wasn't just a hobby for her, it was therapy. It was narrative. Every piece of fabric she chose, every stitch she placed, was a way to piece her life back together. And it shows. Her videos are never dramatic or over-edited. They're real. You hear the click of the sewing machine. You see the fabric pile up. You witness the inevitable mistakes, the delight in new patterns, the warmth in the process. You don't feel like you're watching a YouTuber. You feel like you're visiting an old friend who happens to be a master quilter. And that's just one piece of what makes her channel so human. Kate's knitting journey is equally captivating. The repetitive rhythm of the needles, the soft textures of wool, the conversations she weaves while she knits, it's meditative. Her knitting isn't just content, it's companionship. You watch not to learn, but to feel. Often she'll talk to the camera as if you're sitting right there beside her, sipping tea, maybe sharing the weight of the day while she finishes a row, offering you to her comforting, cozy place, the lime green sofa. And speaking of tea, let's not ignore how central her kitchen is to this narrative. Her videos often open with her brewing a cup of tea or stirring a pot of something fragrant on the stove. Whether she's making homemade muffins, baking bread, or simply chopping vegetables, there's an authenticity in how she approaches food. Kate doesn't do trendy recipes or quick hacks. She cooks like someone who believes meals are stories. That food is something to be shared, not just consumed. Her garden reflects this same belief. You'll find her in her greenhouse or out in her garden, fingers deep in soil, talking to you about compost and green beans like they're old friends. She doesn't glamorize the process. She shows you the weeds, the bugs, the unpredictability of nature. And in doing so, she shows you the metaphor. Growth isn't perfect. It's messy. It takes time, but it's worth it. Just like healing. What's beautiful about Kate's journey is how she didn't isolate herself in this new chapter. Instead, she drew her family into her world. Her sons and daughter-in-law appear often in her videos. Quilting together and laughing off on their silly mistakes just made the video wholesome naturally. And in a digital world where family dynamics are often exploited for clicks, Kate's portrayal of family is refreshingly wholesome. Her cats are also part of the narrative, roaming freely, knocking over spools of thread. But there's another layer to Kate's success. A layer that shows she's not just an artist, but a clever entrepreneur. Beyond YouTube, Kate runs her own online store, where she sells quilting kits, handmade goods, tools, and lovingly curated items for fellow makers. The store isn't just a way to make income, it's an extension of her values. Each product reflects her ethos: slow living, intentional creation, and quality over quantity. What makes Kate truly remarkable is the subtle authenticity in her story. She refused the idea that women must be loud or glamorous to be relevant online. She defied the fear that life after divorce is lonely or meaningless. She defied the ageism of a platform dominated by youth, and she did it without ever raising her voice. without ever chasing views. She built a community not with virality, but with presence. The Last Homely House is now home to hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But more than numbers, it's home to feelings, comfort, healing, inspiration. It's where someone grieving can feel seen, where someone lonely can feel accompanied, where someone creative can feel encouraged. Kate didn't set out to become a beacon, but she became one, quietly, gracefully. She reminds us that success doesn't have to be loud, that influence doesn't need to be flashy, that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers through a stitch, through a recipe, through a garden bed. So if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, underinspired, or just craving a softer world for a little while, visit Kate. Visit the Last Homely House. Watch her pour tea, fold fabric, plant beans, knit scarves, and laugh with her sons. You don't need to binge watch. One video is enough. Enough to remind you that life is allowed to be slow, that starting over can be beautiful, that crafting, cooking, and simply being present are forms of quiet rebellion against a fast, indifferent world. Kate may have started her YouTube channel later in life, but what she's built is timeless. She is living proof that you're never too old to begin again, that home can be redefined, that even after loss, you can create a life that is full of meaning, joy, and threads of gold. And maybe in watching her, you'll be inspired to make something of your own, because the Last Homely House isn't just her channel. It's an invitation to come home, to yourself. If you watch this video, comment down your favorite YouTuber, and we will cover their journey with you as well. With all the love, till the don't forget, like, share, and subscribe the channel.